Hello students, in today's lecture of software engineering, we will be discussing what is information, what type of information is required to be gathered before starting of any project, and also the different information gathering tools. Now, before starting the discussion about information gathering tools, we need to discuss what type of information is required. So the different kinds of information required, firstly, relevant to the organization is the policies of the organization, the goals of the organization, the objectives, and the organization structure. That is from the point of view of an organization. Then comes the user. Now, what is the type of information related to users? Number one is the authority relationships, the job functions, the information requirements, and then the interpersonal relationships. And the last is the work itself. That is how the work flows in the organization, the methods and the procedures used, then the work schedules. This is the type of information that will be gathered using the information gathering tools we'll be discussing in this lecture. Starting with, now this is the different types of information gathering tools. Number one is review literature, procedures and forms. Then is on-site observation. Then is interviews. And the last is questionnaires. We'll be discussing in all these techniques. Number one is interviewing. What is basically an interview is, it is an interaction of two people, or I could say that the system analyst basically interviews the users and the managers and the senior executive to gain information about the organization and the work policies of the organization. It is basically a face-to-face interpersonal communication in which a person that is called, the person that is taking the interview, that is called the interviewer, asks the person that is being interviewed questions designed to gather designed to gather the information about the problematic area. It is basically the most oldest and oftenly used device for gathering information in the system. Now, when we talk about interviews, now there has to be different patterns that have to be followed while taking interviews, and the questionnaire that will be designed for taking the interviews are different. Like there are two types that this can be divided into two categories. Number one is unstructured interviews and structured interviews. The unstructured interviews are basically in which there will be a question answer session to which the system analyst will require certain information. And then structured is basically, you could say the format is a closed or an open one. Closed is the optional one, MCQ one, or there are check boxes. And the open one is where they will be representing their problem in a descriptive manner. Then moving further, there are various advantages of interviews. In short, I'll discuss what are the basic advantages. Number one is that the flexibility makes the interview the most superior technique for exploring the areas which actually cannot be covered just by seeing or assessing the situation. In fact, the questions that is and the how to formulate the questions will actually have will actually help the system analyst to gain the desired information. Then it is useful for them who do not communicate effectively in writing or who may not have the time to complete the questionnaire. Now, this can include the departmental managers. They may or may not be having actually the time to undergo everything and to discuss everything. So this technique is very efficient for the people who do not have time to answer that questionnaire. Then information can easily be validated and cross-checked immediately. Now, if I'm actually questioning all the, or I could say I'm interviewing all the employees in a certain department, then their responses, I can there and then I can talk to their manager and find out what is the right and the wrong response, and there and then I can discuss whether they are doing it for the right thing or not. Then it can handle the complex subjects, those subjects that cannot be explained in a questionnaire or just by observation, can be easily covered while interviewing. Then it bridges the gaps in the areas of misunderstanding and minimizes future problems. The best thing is that while interviewing, in fact, the system analyst can record the person's review, that the person can actually identify that this person particularly said this particular thing, so he can even keep a record of it. Then complete nature and the scope of the project proposed system could be easily understood. Also, if I explain it more in an elaborative manner, it actually, this interviews gives the analyst an opportunity to motivate the interviewee to respond freely and openly to the questions. His gestures could be as good so that the person who is giving the interview can feel free to speak. By establishing this relationship, the system analyst is able to give the interviewee a feeling of actively contributing to the system development. And it also helps the system analyst to probe or to gain more feedback from the person who is giving the interview. Then also there could be adapt or reward questions for each individual. Then moving on to the next type, that is questionnaires. Questionnaires is another important thing that is required, that can help us to gain collecting facts. Now, what is the advantages, or if I would start with what is a questionnaire? It is used by the analyst to gather information about various issues of system from a large number of persons. But in reality, if we come across a system analyst, or actually we question some system analysts, they don't find it the relevant method of actually gaining information. Actually, the reason for this same is that there might be that the response about the problem would be restricted to certain boundaries. There can be situation that the number of respondents will be low, right? And then there will be no guarantee that the answer, what answer we are seeking from the users or the employees, we won't be getting the satisfied answers. Then also the questionnaire actually tends to be inflexible. You cannot get just every information in just some questions. But still, questionnaire is somewhere a very effective technique also while gaining information. Now, questionnaire is of two types. One is the structured one and the other is unstructured one, also known as the free format questions and the fixed format questionnaires. Now, when we talk about free format questionnaires, there can be two types of questions. Let's take an example. In free format questionnaires is, for example, how do we issue invoices and what are the problem with the current procedures? The questionnaire is how, for example. And then, do we have problems with the tallying the cash in the evening? So I am just taking an example. How generally I could say ki my question is also not very fixed, and the answer is also not very properly structured. So whatever I've asked two questions to the users, that how they are doing the invoices thing, and in evening when they're tallying the cash with the bill, is it proper or not? So for this, answer can be anything depending upon the user who is answering. Then come the fixed format, the structured ones. This is actually have a set pattern of answers from which the users has to select the desired answer. Basically, your multiple choice questions, your checkbox list, right? This is the type of structured questionnaires. This is also very important. In fact, most of the people right now are actually most of the organizations are using this means to get the feedback, because 90% organizations are having work from home or online education. So this is very easy, because for every question we don't need a detailed answers, right? Simply, if for example, also there is a certain situation that, are you enjoying or are you able to do work from home very nicely? The answers option could be yes or no, right? Then there is a problem, or we could say there are some implications that we need to keep in mind while developing a questionnaire. Number one is that determine what facts and opinions must be collected and the target respondents that will supply those facts. If the number of people is large, consider using a smaller, randomly selected group of respondents. The facts that has to be answered needs to be very clear. Then, based on the facts and opinions are required, determine whether free or fixed format question will be producing the best answers. We have to decide whether we need a free structured or we need a fixed structured for our questionnaire. Next point is simply write the questions, examine them for construction errors and possibly misinterpretation. For example, one question, if I say any question, maybe there's a reason. You could say there can be an analog situation, or there could be some error, or maybe the interpretation of that question could be different. So I need to take both the perspectives, that there should not be any ambiguity in that question. My user or my respondent should actually answer what I am trying to ask. And then this test, then the best way for this to handle this questionnaire is to test a very limited number of respondents. Now, this limited number of respondents will actually help me to know whether my questionnaire is designed properly or not. Then advantages of questionnaires. See, first is, the biggest advantage is mostly these questions can be answered very quickly. These questions can very easily answered. Then also my questionnaire can help me to get answers from large number of respondents very nicely. Instead of interviewing 100 people, if I design a questionnaire that will cover 100 responses, that will be very easy for me. It is also effective in surveying interest, attitudes, feelings, and beliefs of users which are not co-located. For example, if there are surveys on websites like Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, for certain posts, they put a post like you agree, strongly agree, disagree, like these options they give. So this help the people to know whether that users are actually, how they are being affected. Then it is useful in situation to know what proportion of given group approves or disapproves of a particular feature of the proposed system. Like there was a survey for Instagram that they had a feature called Reels. For the same thing, they conducted a survey whether people are enjoying it or not. Then it is useful to determine the overall opinion before giving any specific direction to the system project. Every response can be analyzed, and once that is analyzed, there will be sufficient time to actually solve that project problem. It is more reliable and provides high confidentiality of honest responses. It is appropriate for electing factual information and for statistical data collection, which can be emailed and sent by post. It is not necessary that people need to be present. In short, the responses from questionnaire can easily be tabulated and can be analyzed very quickly. Moving on to the next one, review of records, procedures, and forms. For this, I could say that the best example is the Google Forms that is being used in today's time. This is basically, they help to seek insight into a system which describe the current system capabilities, its operations and activities. The advantages of reviewing the records and the procedures and the forms already existing in the system will actually help us to gain the knowledge and insight about the organizations and the operations that are being performed in the organization before actually imposing the new system. Then the documentation of the current operations can help any system analyst to know how to actually start up the operations in the new system. Then it provides clear understanding about the transactions that are being handled in the organization, identify input for processing and evaluating the performance. This transactions can actually lay down the processing of the new system, how the processing will be done in the new system. Also, it helps to understand the system in terms of operations that must be supported, and it describes the problems, its affected parts, and the proposed solutions. So these records, procedures, and forms will lay down the basis of the documentation of the new system and the operation of the new system. Then observation. This is another important fact or a fact gathering technique, that is observation. Observation is basically the most effective data collection technique. Here, the user their system analyst doesn't have to question or interview any employee. The person just need to see how the functioning is being done, how the environment of the organization is, and what type of operation is being performed. And while observing the environment, the system analyst becomes an observer of people and activities so as to learn about the system. Now, this type of technique is basically used by analysts when the analysts when they are not sure about the validity of data that is being collected via interviews or via questionnaires. So they personally observe things so that they could get a better insight into the system and the operations of the system. Then advantages of this observation is that the data that will be gathered on the basis of observation will be reliable. Okay. And sometimes the observations are conducted to check the validity of data obtained directly from the individual. So it can act as a recheck of all the data that is gathered through questionnaires and interviews. Then system analysts will be able to see what is exactly being done in the organization. Complex tasks are actually difficult to be explained in terms of interviews or in terms of questionnaires, so that system analyst can sit there and observe how the things are being done, what are the flaws and what are the capabilities that the system lack. Through observation, the system analyst can actually identify tasks that has been missed and inaccurately described by any other information gathering technique. The analyst can actually obtain the data describing the physical environment of the task. Also, observation is really inexpensive as comparative to other techniques. There is no cost incurred in all this. The system analyst will be observing things. And also that it also allows the system analyst to do work measurements, that how the things are being done and how people are actually working. But yes, the major drawback of observation is that it can actually make the people working, the on-site people working for the organization, a little attentive. So there may also are chances that the system analyst would not be able to grasp or would not be able to gain what he's actually exactly trying to see, because there are chances that people, if they come to know that they are being observed, they tend to work not to their full capacity. They get conscious, and or maybe the people who are not actually, who normally doesn't work properly, they will start working. So these are the things that observation can even lack. So these were the fact finding techniques. And before, in fact, ending this presentation, I would like to go back to the techniques, these techniques. Now, we have discussed all the 4 techniques in this presentation, that is review, literature, procedures and forms, on-site observation, interviews, questionnaire. The basic motive behind having this, all these techniques, is to actually gain facts, is to actually observe knowledge that is important, and to actually make use of the system in an efficient way. We have to, these data that will be collected from all these tools will actually be helpful in designing the rest of the phases. Unless and until the system analyst doesn't have the information about the system existing, and every information that will be provided by all these 4 techniques, the system designing cannot, the system development cannot move further. And these once the data is collected from all these 4 techniques, it is reviewed, it is analyzed, all the duplications are removed, and a proper format is created for all the data that has been calculated, or that has been the data that has been achieved as a records. And this data will actually lay down the base for all the further phases. Thank you.